Mirror before heading out, my body already buzzing with anticipation. By the time I stepped up to the familiar door, my breath was steady. My mindset, I reached for the handle expecting to see him. The door swung open. It wasn't him, and standing there was younger. It was a son. Guess I was right about you, murmured. I met his gaze and stepped inside. Before we begin, please take a short moment to hit like and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow, and if you already did, thank you. Watch until then. I promise you won't be disappointed. Let's jump, and I slid into the backseat off the cab, really getting settled before climbed in after me. The door shut. The city lights flashing through the windows. The Swip pulled away his hand, found my thigh immediately. Warm and firm fingers pressing just enough to remind me how badly he wanted me. Sinning slightly after the way you were looking at me over dinner. You knew exactly what you were doing. I turned toward him, our face inches apart. What was I doing? His hand slide higher, thumb tracing lazy circles in my skin, testing me. Patience, say, bit my lip, leaning in close just now for my breath to warm. Heiser. You like it when I do that, though. His fingers dug in just a little, and auto make me gasp. Not as much as I like. What happens after the driver cleared his throat? Where did he? Pulled out his phone, tapped the screen a few times, then spoke without taking his eyes off my. I'll send you the address. A second later, few drivers GPS chirped, and we started moving. I ran my fingers up his arm, slow and teasing. Good choice. He exhaled like had been holding back all night. The tension crackled between us. The rest dried, his hand never leaving my leg. Body buzzing with anticipation. By the time we pulled up to his house, I was already breathless. He tossed a few bills at that driver, didn't even wait for change. He skinned that front door shut behind us. Had turned home, eyes dark, hungry finally, and then his lips were on. Then the heat between us hadn't cooled in the cab. A thad only grown sharper, heavier. His hands were on me, the second door shut, fingertips tracing over fabric that suddenly felt unbearable. He got a metal cord through dimly lit hallway, his grip firm at me waist. My back met fuel, a quiet gasp slipping from my lips as his breath warmed my neck. His fingers found the zipper of my dress, dragging it down in a slow, deliberate motion. I pressed my palms against his chest, feeling the tension beneath my touch, and tugged off his shirt in return. He barely made it. Tucked bedroom hands, greedy mouth, sergeant clothing slipping away between hurry and movements. By the time my legs hit the bed, my breath was unsteady, my body humming with anticipation. Through clicked shut, and then there was nothing but heat. He pressed me into the mattress, lips tracing a path over the skin. His touch both firm and reverent. I ordained to him. Fingers tangled in his shirt, pulling him closer, guiding him when moved together. Slow at first, then faster, rhythm instinctive. At some point I shifted, pressing my hands to his chest, taking control. His fingers tightened on waist, his breath uneven, eyes dark. Ash let me lead, but he went on. His lips curved and took knowing smile before he moved, flipping effortlessly, his hands stressed down my back, lingering just long enough to send a shiver through me before pulling me against him again. His movements weary, deliberate, unrelenting, drawing me deeper into the moment, into him until everything else faded. The tension coiled sharp and unbearable until it finally shattered. Pleasure airplaying through that, pulling him along in its wake. For a long moment neither of us moved, our breaths tangled and that quiet, then slowly Helen did over, pressing a lingering kiss tummy shoulder before pulling me into him, his arm wrapped in my waist, warm, steady, grounding knees. The last tremors faded. My heartbeat slowed, but the satisfaction lingered, stretching into silence. I had no idea what time it was, and for once I didn't care. In the morning, the coffee well ready made. When I stepped into that kitchen, I grabbed a mug from the counter, pouring myself a cup, letting the warmth seep into my fingers. As I took a slow sip, didn't think you'd still be here. I turned at the voice, mug still at my lips, leaned against the doorway. Shirtless, sweet pants hanging low on his hips. His smirk was lazy, confident, too knowing for someone I just met. His eyes dragged over me, slow and deliberate. So you're at one keeping my old man beside these days? I swallowed, lowering the mug. And you must be his son. The obvious closer, grabbing his own cup, his voice dropping just slightly. I got to say, I expected something different. I raised a brow. Oh, he took a sip, ice flicking over my legs bare beneath the hum of the oversized shirt. Yeah, older, boring. His gaze met mine, something thinking rattled behind it. Definitely not some man who looks this good first thing in the morning. I exhaled a quiet laugh, shaking my head as I set my cup down. You're bold, I'll give you that. Bold, he'd show, tilting his head slightly. Or just honest. I held his gaze for a beat longer than I should have, then pushed back my car. Well, it was nice meeting you, but it's whole get going. He didn't move, just studied me over the rim of his cup. Who is enjoying the view? I let out a small scoff, but I didn't bother hiding my smirk as I turned to leave. Hope I see you again, he called after me, and next time you won't be wearing his shirt. I didn't stop, didn't look back. But I felt his eyes on me the whole way out. The next evening, my phone buzzed, come over same time. No small talk, nobled up, just direct confident. Exactly what I like. Less than an hour later, I was stepping out of a cab, smoothing down me dress as he walked up to the familiar front door, but when it swung open, it wasn't him standing there. It was Asani he stayed leaning against the doorframe. His smirk. Lizzie figured you'd show up. I raised Abra. Where's your dad? Work emergency, had to leave last minute. His voice was smooth casual, but there was something smug behind it, like was waiting to see if I take the bay. I let my gaze linger in, him mean impressed. Wow. What our thoughts hadn't even pretend to be innocent. Trite silence stretched between us, thick with something unspoken. He didn't move from doorway, didn't invite me in, but he went blocking me. Either I could have left instead. I let out a quiet laugh, shaking my head. You said the sap, didn't? This grin widened. Would it bother you if he did? I stepped past him, brushing guy against him just enough to make my point. If it did, I wouldn't be here. I heard him exhale a quiet chuckle as he shut the door behind me. Good, he murmured, because wasn't planning on letting you leave just yet. I turned to face him, tilting my head slightly, then stop wasting time. A smirk faltered for just a second, like expected me to be so direct. It smiled. Then I took another step closer. His hand slid over my waist as it straddled him on the couch, my lips brushing against his soft. At first, then demanding, he leaned back, eyes dark, taking me, and you wanted this too, did Mo? I smirked, running my hands down his just nails, dragging lightly. But why do y'all think? His breath caught as it shifted lower, my lips tracing a slow path down Youth's torso. He tensed beneath my fingers, gripping the cushion's anticipation thick in the air. I took my time, teasing him with light, lingering movements, savoring the way his body rocked under my touch. His hands found my hair, fingers tightening, breath growing uneven as I continued. Just when Hessinston reaching the edge, I pulled away, my lips ghosting over his skin before sitting back up. His head fell back against the couch, chest rising and falling in even breaths. You're playing dangerous games. I smiled, taking his hand and guiding him forward, and you love it. Before he could approach Test, I wrapped my legs around his waist, shifting him lower. His hesitation lasted only a second. Buffer he caught on his shins, gliding over my thighs as his lips pressed out against my skin. A sharp gasp escaped me. He worked his way deeper into me, senses, his grip firm as he followed me every movement. My fingers tangled in his hair, guiding him, keeping him right where I wanted him, the pressure inside me belt curling, tightening almost too much, and just when I was about to break it, pulled him up by his hair, breathless, leaving no room for hesitation. Set hemming it back onto the cush. Buffer is settled over him once more, my hands pressing into his chest as a to control. A shudder ran through him, his fingers gripping my waist as he exhalated a low, ragged breath. I moved slowly, at first setting a deliberate rhythm, letting the tension stretch between Yasha's hands flexed against my skin, his restraint fraying as I dictated pace of savoring every second. Not yet, I murmured, shifting just enough to keep him waiting. His groan was low, his fingers gripping me, thighs barely holding on, faster, deeper. Every movement sent heat rippled to me, drawing me closer, pulling Mo. I pushed us both to the edge of me, body tightening, trembling until finality, pressure, shattered pleasure tearing through me. A deep throaty groan tore from his lips as he followed his grip, bomb turning fierce as he let go, completely sinking into the moment one last time. But I wasn't finished. His body was still shuddering, bent, Mia's muscles slackening, his breathing still uneven. Too soon, I slipped lower, my lips tracing a pat over his skin, teasing him back to readiness. He let out a sharp breath at first touch, his fingers twitching in response. You're going to kill me. Hammer mirrored his voice, rough, still, and steady. I only hummed in response, working him over as slowly, effortless, lipping him back into the moment. It didn't tackle on his breath. Turner dragged again, his grip tightening as he surrendered to the sensation this time. I didn't wait either, embracing my hands on back of Feck out, shifting against them in silent invitation. A low, shaky breath left his lips as his hand settled firmly on my wrist, drawing my back toward him. Slow at first, too slow, I pressed back, meeting him, urging him on end. Then he lost himself in it. His holding me tightened movements became more urgent, his rhythm steady and commanding. I felt every shiver, every pulse a pleasure as he led me toward another. Released, my fingers scrolled into cushions, my breath quick in tension coiling inside me. That's it, Hammer mirrored his voice, thick, strained. I gasped, thigh heat swelling inside me, tightening, growing unbearable until it snapped. A shooter beneath his hands, my body trembling, vision hazy, nothing but sensation consuming me. A second later, I felt him tense behind me, a deep groan leaving his lips as he let go, and then we heard a creak. The door flip. Henson men would call this wrongs, wouldn't it? Be honest, will you have let Heron let me know and be commence? I enjoyed them, and don't forget to like this video if you enjoy its story. And subscribe for more. Thanks for watching. See you in the next Don't Sorry.